The UWP has raised concerns about a single airline ticket for the government delegation, reportedly costing approximately $14,963, calling it a misuse of public funds. Export Saint Lucia asserts that the majority of the overall expenses were covered by Expo organizers, with local funds accounting for a significantly smaller, carefully managed portion. During an interview with NBC Prime, Glenville Gilbert, Director of Client Management at Export Saint Lucia, detailed the financial arrangements. He explained that all travel and accommodation expenses for government ministers and officials were fully covered by Expo Osaka organizers. For the group of 30 creatives representing Saint Lucia, half of their costs were funded by the Expo, with Export Saint Lucia covering the remaining expenses.
The cost of the participations of the ministers and other officials was covered mainly by Expo Osaka. The cost of the creatives were covered by half of them were Expo Osaka, and the other half was Expo Saint Lucia through the budget allocated to us for that purpose by the government of Saint Lucia.
Gilbert further elaborated on the variations in ticket prices, attributing them to different flight routings. Tickets funded by Expo Osaka, which followed a route through the UK and Dubai, cost approximately $4,000, equivalent to 10,810 EC dollars and 20 cents. In contrast, Export Saint Lucia directly booked tickets via a more direct and affordable route, costing approximately $2,000.
The tickets that were paid for by Expo Osaka, the individuals were routed through the UK, Dubai, and then Japan. The cost of these tickets were $4,000. The tickets that Saint Lucia or Expo Saint Lucia paid for were routed through Canada, so Saint Lucia, Canada, Dubai. These tickets, because of the route, were a lot cheaper at $2,000. So it's nothing close to what was being said outside. The cost paid by Saint Lucia for the tickets for the creatives was $2,000.
Pointing to Export Saint Lucia's commitment to responsible use of public funds, Gilbert revealed the overall financial scope.
Of course, you'd weigh what the return would be, and if it is that it needs to be done at that cost, yes, we would do it. But we are also very conscious, about what we do and how we spend. After all, we are funded by the government, and that means that we're funded by the taxpayers. And so we would not go about misspending or spending, making outlandish purchases, whether it's a ticket or whatever, using taxpayers' money. We would be more responsible.
Over a 6-month period, the total cost of Saint Lucia's participation in Expo Osaka amounted to $3 million, with the vast majority funded by the Japanese organizers. Export Saint Lucia's direct share of this budget was approximately 750,000 EC dollars to 800,000 EC dollars. This allocation facilitated the involvement of the 30 creatives and 3 Export Saint Lucia staff members.
Saint Lucia's participation in Expo Osaka would have been about $3 million. That's overall. Most of that was covered by Japan. Our budget was just, I think, between $750,000 to $800,000. And that is not for that day. That is for the overall expo that spans 6 months. Mm-hmm. The booth, everything that goes into building the booth and all of that. So that expenditure is not National Day. It is the entire 6 months of the expo.
Expo 2025 Osaka served as a global platform designed to show innovation and foster cultural collaboration. Minister of Tourism, Culture and Investment, Honorable Ernest Hilaire, has hailed Saint Lucia's mission as a significant success for the island's creative arts community. Chloe Dantes, NBC Prime.